so much for saying that. So here's how I would explain short lapse and a rate increase to a customer. First is I would explain that insurance companies price based on people with similar risk characteristics. For example, people who are newly licensed statistically have higher rates of accidents than people who've been driving for years. Just makes sense, right? That's why people who are newly licensed will pay more than people who've been licensed for a while. It's the same with lapses in coverage. Unfortunately, statistics have shown that people who've had continuous coverage tend to file less claims than people who've had lapses in coverage. In my experience, it seems that customers care less about the why and more about the solution. I would give them the explanation of why that is, but then go into the solution. Are there other things you can potentially do to help with that increase? I've worked for companies where if you could prove that you didn't have a car, for example, we wouldn't count the lapse. So maybe that's something that you could offer. If not, maybe look for other ways in which you can help them offset that increase. The other thing that I think might help is if you explain that this is not a forever thing. Maybe paying a little bit more now because of that lapse, but the longer you stay continuously insured, the lower your premium will ultimately be. Obviously, go into things you could do in the future to prevent having a lapse, making sure that you're listed as a driver on someone else's policy or getting a named non-owner policy just to make sure that it doesn't show as a lapse, and then you won't have this problem in the future. Hopefully that helps.